Welcome to the Progressive Vibe. I'm your host, Dottie here. Today is February 7th, 2021, Season 3, Episode 5. The title of this episode is Wages in Stages. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week, is having a great weekend. I wanted to give you guys some information on this CNBC article that reads a $15 federal minimum wage is out of the latest stimulus packages, or the latest stimulus package for now. Before I get into that, I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the Democrats supporting the $15 federal minimum wage, but are really not even fighting for it as hard as they should be, in my opinion, in this latest COVID relief package. So, first things first, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. If we would have kept up with productivity rates, people would be making at least $24 an hour by now. So, honestly, $15 an hour could be more. But baby steps, and it seems like we can't even really even get the baby steps accomplished by some Democrats and Republicans that choose to put their own interest first. And when I mean own interest, I mean their donors. People who buy them off to vote in a certain way. And yeah, they should be called out. They should be held accountable because people are working hard and are getting starvation wages. And I don't know about you, but I don't care if you're just a single person with no kids, or without a wife or whatever, a husband, whatever the case may be. Nobody can't make it with $7.25. The way that society is constructed. So that has to change, and it has to change soon. And I'm a little bit disappointed that President Biden supports the idea, but isn't really fighting for the idea. Again, I don't know where it leads. It says for now, so I'm expecting it to get brought up very, very soon. But to me, by not including it in this COVID relief package was a huge missed opportunity. Senator Bernie Sanders, chairman of the Budget Committee, his stance is the Raise the Wage Act, and it just technically means increasing the federal minimum wage to $15 gradually towards 2025. So, 2025, all states should be, the requirement should be $15 minimum. that's a huge deal, you know. And you know, Bernie's working with what he's given, you know, and, as well as the progressive Democrats in the House. You know, I just feel like 2025, I feel like people should be making more than $15 an hour. We're in 2021, and people are making $7.25. And if 2025 if things keep going up the way it's going up, I mean, bills, insurance, etc. You know, I think that the wages should be higher by that point. But the fact that Bernie and a few others seems to be, as supposedly well as President Biden, is fighting for increasage of minimum wage is a good thing. But again, I wish that they would have fought a little bit harder in this COVID relief package to include that, and to include $2,000 checks. It's going to be $1,400 in this at this relief package. Anything's better than nothing, because when people are desperate, people are hungry and try to feed their families, and on the verge of getting evicted from their apartment or their homes, or whatever the case may be. Anything's better than nothing. And so I don't want you guys to think that I'm just being ungrateful or sounding ungrateful, because I'm not. It's just, people ain't stupid. And if you tell people that you're going to do $2,000 checks, then you should do $2,000 checks. And, you know, I'm hearing that the Republicans are talking, you know, biting down on the salary requirement that you would need to get these relief checks. Republican wishes are like, if you're single and making $50,000, then you wouldn't qualify for the relief checks. If you're a couple making $150,000, then you would not be able to qualify for the relief checks. You know, I personally think that would be bad politically, because you know, last year when the relief checks passed under Trump, people in those annual salary brackets were getting the relief checks. So people who were making $50,000 single, people, couples who were making $150,000 a year, they were entitled to get those checks. And so I'm hoping that the Democrats won't take that bait and keep everything the way that it is. I mean, obviously, there should be some thresholds. Like if you're making like $300,000 a year or something like that, then obviously, I'm assuming you wouldn't qualify for, you know, the relief package. But you know, we should keep it how the Republicans kept it under Trump when they passed a relief bill. And I feel like that would be a hard argument to dispute if the Democrats were to bring that up. So I wanted to take a quick break, guys. After we come back after this break, I was going to read you the CNBC article and, you know, see what you guys' thoughts are after that. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show, everyone. CNBC article: a $15 minimum wage is out of the latest stimulus package for now. This piece is written by Carmen Reinecke. So to get right into it, guys, Senate Democrats passed a budget resolution early Friday, the latest step towards approving President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus plan by a simple majority without Republican votes. Not all of Biden's proposal remained intact. On the chopping block, at least for now, is the $15 federal minimum wage. Goes on to say the plan is to raise the federal minimum wage, which has been $7.25 an hour since 2019, as we talked about earlier, was removed after senators backed an amendment from Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican from Iowa. She proposed prohibiting the increase in the federal minimum wage during the pandemic when many small businesses are suffering. To me, that should speak on why you would need to support these measures. But anyway, she said, quote, a $15 federal minimum wage would be devastating for our hardest hit small businesses at a time when they can least afford it, end quote, said Ernst on the Senate floor. She says, quote, we should not have a one-size-fit-all policy set by Washington politicians, end quote. She also goes on to say, quote, we all support higher wages, but a $15 federal minimum wage would be counterproductive, end quote. In a surprise, Senator Bernie Sanders supported Ernst's amendment, which is non-binding. He spoke on the amendment to clarify that his plan detailed in the Raise the Wage Act is to gradually raise the federal minimum wage to reach $15 an hour in 2025, not immediately increase wages during the pandemic. Which he's already stated, by the way, guys, on several occasions. That's why I feel like it was really a clever thing for him to support the amendment, because that's not even what he was talking about. But anyway, he goes on to say, quote, I would support this amendment because nobody is talking about doubling the federal minimum wage during the pandemic, he said. Quote, we are talking about gradually phasing it in over a 5-year period, end quote. He also said that he will do everything he can to make sure that a $15 federal minimum wage is ultimately included in the budget reconciliation bill. To pass the budget reconciliation in the Senate, however, it would require the unanimous support of all 50 Democratic senators. Currently, it does not have all the votes it would need to pass. Democrat Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia opposes it. Still, the push to approve legislation raising the federal minimum wage is far from over. On Thursday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said during a news conference that a $15 minimum wage is a very high priority for Democrats. She says, quote, it does not mean it won't happen just because it won't happen there, end quote. She said, there's so much in the package that has to be done right now, and we'll do the best we can. So my thing is, and that was in an article, by the way. So my thing is, don't bring it up as your agenda to get accomplished if you're not going to do it right now. That's my thing. I'm totally okay with the whole it doesn't mean it won't happen just because it won't happen there. Okay, that's fine, but the fact that it said it was going to happen, that's where the problem lies in at. So we have to be specific on these things because the American people don't hear that, oh, we're doesn't mean that we're not gonna pass it. We're just not gonna pass in this bill because we're just so overwhelmed with this COVID relief package that, we can't get everything that we need to get in it. Okay. But don't have that as an agenda, as an agenda, an immediate agenda. I understand that you want to go ahead and pass this COVID relief package and all that, but you're trying to get all these things completed within 100 days. So you have to move the ball forward somehow. And you know that people in your own party, like Senator Joe Manchin, opposes it. And you have a vast majority of Republicans that opposes it. So we got to get on the ball and start moving this conversation forward quickly, in a quickly manner, because the people aren't going to wait. You can't promise things and then only partial deliver on things. You can't do that. Prime example, the two senators that got elected, the Democratic senators that got elected in Georgia, ran on relief checks. Just plain and simple. And that the opposition was not supporting the relief checks. Well, guess what? They won. And guess what? Still no relief checks. And so that's how you get people to not want to be involved in the voting process or get involved in politics, because constantly it seems like the goalpost is being moved, whether that's on the Republican side or the Democratic side. And if the Democrats, I'm going to leave it at this right here, guys. If the Democrats are going to talk the talk, eventually you're going to start to have to walk the walk. And if you don't, then as history has shown, then you will lose your seat of power. It's just that plain and simple. Again, 2022 is right around the corner, guys. The primaries is right around the corner. And the opposition party is just itching to exploit things that the Democrats said that they were going to do, but they allowed the Republicans to slow their process down. And they can't allow that to happen. Because again, if the American people elected you guys to get, if American people gave you control of all three branches of government, then you have to speak to the wishes and needs and deliver these promises. I mean, if not, then why are you in positions of power? Why are you saying that you're going to do these things and you're not going to do them? Not saying that they aren't going to do them, because I believe in my heart of hearts that they are. But this constant move of the goalpost, like you can just like rewind time, is just not a thing. And it's only thing it's going to do is furtherly upset people who have supported you since day one, or people who have made that transition from another party to the Democratic Party. You're not giving them any reasons to stay within that party. And again, you're kind of just feeding into what the opposition party wants. When we get back, guys, we're going to have the vent forum of the podcast, social media break, in other words. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, we're back here on the Progressive Vibe. This is the vent forum of the podcast. Just reading a couple of social media posts, and we're going to get back to standard programming, I guess, if you will. This is by J_lies. A failed state is when you have a space force before you have universal health care. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I gotta like that. Let's see. This is Tim Ryan, representative out of Ohio. I think 13th district, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he's a representative out of Ohio, Democratic representative. He says, I think the check should be $2,000 and they should be monthly. Retweet if you agree. I think that is telling, because Tim Ryan is a very, I'm not going to say very, but Tim Ryan, I'll say, is a conservative Democrat. And, long before he just came out with this, because this was my first time seeing that he stated $2,000 monthly checks. It's been a thing with the Justice Democrats, with the more progressive side of the party, but obviously the more the merrier, and I agree with Tim Ryan. They should be $2,000, and they should be reoccurring payments. At least till the pandemic's over and the economy is back on its feet, as well as Americans. Let's see here. Robert Rich reads, Walmart and Amazon took home $29.7 billion in profits last year. Call me a radical lefty, but we should tax the corporations profited during the pandemic and use the revenue to bail out the American people. Couldn't have said that any better. It's amazing how all these corporations are able to profit during a pandemic, and the corporations who need people to work in their establishments are the main ones that are getting screwed over. But I agree with Robert Rich on that. It's about time for the rich to start paying their fair share of taxes. It's nothing new. I mean, the only thing is it going to actually be implemented in the future? So only time will tell. I'm hoping so. So Yeah, I don't think I see anything that else catches my eye. So we're gonna wrap this vent forum up. Um, After we come back from the break, we're gonna wrap up the show, guys. And yeah, I hope you love my vent. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? We're back here on the Progressive Vibe. That's going to do it for today's show today. Hope you guys had a blast. I sure did. You guys can catch me every Sunday at 4 p.m. I was a little late, unfortunately, last week, so I do apologize for that. But yes, you can catch me every Sunday at 4 p.m. You can also catch me on social media, preferably Twitter, Dottie_vibe. That's at DODI_VIBE. You can also email me at first name, last name, DodrickKing@gmail.com. DODRICKKING@gmail.com. My shout outs, as usual, goes to you guys, the listeners out there. I appreciate everything. I love that you guys continue to listen every week. It makes me feel like I'm at least providing some sort of information that's useful for you guys. So I appreciate that. Hope you tune in next week. Thank you guys for also sharing my podcast. When you share it, it just goes out to just different platforms abroad. I mean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, etc. So I really, really do appreciate that. I have one other article. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to post it with the other article that I read earlier in today's program. It reads, Oregon is to decriminalize all drugs offers treatment instead of incarceration. So it seems like Oregon is going to pass through a measure. It was Measure 10, and if you guys didn't know what Measure 10 was, it was a measure that decriminalizes drugs in the state of Oregon and will provide treatment instead of incarceration. So it's a really, really good feel-good story. It's a lady, recovering addict named Jenny Gullison. She shared her story. It was pretty remarkable. And now she's the executive director of the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon. So she not only beat her addiction, but she's able to be in a position where she's able to help other addicts. So definitely a feel-good story. I'll post it so you guys can read it if you like. That does it for today's show, guys. I'm going to leave you on this message. Stay positive, stay progressive, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.